and welcome back.
Everyone is in the tavern at this point, and Moss, Hadrada, and Talia notice that Durgat and Tony have come back after disappearing for a little bit, and has come back and went straight to the bar where they've ordered rounds of water and are currently holding their heads.
I've also ordered a whiskey.
And one whiskey.
I walk up to Tony and ask, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I also walk up to them like, what did you guys talk about with the dwarf there?
Oh,
Like-
I just I stumbled in. He was like taking a dump or something. I stumbled in there by accident. Oh, where?
Didn't you directly
Where is this
approach
bar?
him? Tony.
Apparently, I think we're in Wintervale right now, at least
What?
according to the...
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Guys, what is everything okay?
Hold.
Apparently, I don't know, that dwarf told me...
I thought it was.
Like, Tony, didn't you... Yeah, wait, Tony, didn't you tell me I bumped my head or something and I was, like, acting really weird?
I was straight. Apparently I walked in the bathroom. There was a small dwarven man about to pull his trousers down. I felt like I hit my head. He was like, "Yeah, you just walked in here on me." It's I left. Like, what?
I was
We're
there
in
too.
Wintervale. You were
Yes.
not there.
What? Of course we're in Wintervale. We just arrived.
Question for you.
Huh?
What do you all remember?
We were in.
Yeah, we
the-
went down that passageway that Talia and I found, then we...
Yeah, we were in the fort.
Yeah, we fought, like, slime thingies, and...
Yeah.
Like, then I went to the desk, opened the drawers, got shot with darts, then I opened the big chest because Tony told me to go over there. and
I remember
that's
that.
it.
Moss is gonna walk up and just like kind of casually tap a lesser restoration onto Tony's back.
Okay.
Tony likes
See if
his.
that does anything. That's blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Are they poisoned?
No.
I
would
About to be
say-
alcohol poisoned.
I would say the conditions that are on that lesser restoration fixes, what was afflicting them isn't among them.
Ow, my arm.
Hold on. I need to ask him. Hold on.
Can I like to cast let me see.
Area of Could You Bullshit?
And around this time,
No.
you see the dwarf quickly walk past and walk out the front door.
that him?
I try and
Bathroom.
stop him.
Hey, me too.
And as you try to do this, he breaks out in a run. All of you go ahead and roll dexterity checks.
I was about to say check or save.
Check.
Fuck, I don't know.
20.
Come on.
16.
Oh, not fucking 20, not 20, motherfucker.
Talia and Moss
Okay.
just perfectly zoom.
So,
Moss unfolds his caterpillar tracks.
despite his best efforts, you guys do catch him on his way out the door. And Hadrada, or Moss, actually. Moss and Talia kind of grab him by his legs and, dogpile him a little bit.
Moss just stands in front of the door.
And he's, trying to fight out of it, get off me. Get off me.
And Talia is gonna. Do I have a dagger? I'm sure I have a dagger.
Moss casts Charm
Damn
Person.
right. I have. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Talia was about to get
Don't
real fucking
worry.
uncomfortable.
Charm
About
person.
a thing. Charm Person. That is a DC 16? 16. Wisdom save.
10.
And yep, he is charmed.
Okay, Talia lets him go. She was about to get, or someone will probably have to push her up because she's about to get out her
Talia.
dagger. It's the fuck.
I
she
grapple Talia.
Talia,
Okay,
we
good.
just
I
wanna
get-
talk. I
I
want
got
to
off.
talk to him. I'm more confused than anything. I know what's going on.
he'll talk more to me. But for now, let us retire to the larger of the chambers we have. You'll join us, won't you, friend?
And he's kind of like brushing himself off, standing up, and says, "Yeah, of course I will."
Moss puts his hand on his back and guides him upstairs to the biggest of the rooms.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, all of you go up the stairs and go into the bigger of the rooms.
Now, what might your name be?
And he looks at you and he says, "My name is Rivka."
Sorry. Who are the two people that are acting sus as fuck right now? With the water and all the shit?
What's that?
It's Tony and who
Yep.
Is it Durgat? Durgat, yes,
Yes.
it was Durgat. Couldn't remember if it was Durgat or Corin that went over there.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was his name? Spell that for me.
Yeah. Rivka. Rivka.
Rivka. And what did you do to my friends here?
And he kind of looks over at Tony and says, "Well, you may have got a couple alarms that something wasn't right with your friend here for the last few days." And he
Actually,
sa-
I did not. But why makes you say that?
And he says, "Oh, well, I guess I'm a better actor than I thought I was." And just kind of like looks down to the floor and says, "Well, me and my partner, we borrowed your friend's bodies for a little bit."
Oh, what?
What?
He says,
I was about to get the dagger again, like.
Talia, no, I hear him. What's
Anger
your...
will lessen
like
the spell.
at this, he like
If
kind of
you
looks
don't
at you
control
and
yourself, I'll have to ask you to leave.
like
Turning to
seeing
Talia.
this, he kind of like
Sorry.
Like,
She's
kinda
like, she
puts
puts a
his-
dag.
he like
She-
puts his
she
hands
puts-
up.
She like
No, it's okay.
puts the dag.
And then
just,
turns to Talia.
like,
If you do that
stares.
again, you will be removed. And like very like leans into Talia.
Yeah, she's like, she puts it away. She's like, she stares at daggers.
He like has his hands up and he says, we never intended to harm them. We just needed to use their bodies. Me and my partner, we have been stuck in that gemstone for roughly about 30 years now. And we saw
Holy shit, dude,
a
I'm sorry.
way to escape from that fate, and we had to use your friends, and we were going to put them back just as we found them, but we just had to borrow their bodies until we could get some of our own.
Now, you could have asked. That's very inconsiderate.
And he looks at you and he says, "You've never been inside of that gemstone."
Moss
You can't-
leans down very close to him.
He
That
says,
was very rude.
and he says, "Yes, but desperation can cause people to do worse things than that, I'm afraid." He says, "You've never been inside of that gemstone. Everything is darkness in there. You can't even hear your own voice. You can't hear anything. The silence is deafening."
Moss shakes his head. You hurt my friends. Cocks his head to the side. And,
And he,
who, and then reaches into the bag and pulls out the crystal that was in his bag of holding. Is in
the
here.
crystal is not, the gem is not there.
That, what?
What?
How? What?
What?
Oh
No!
my.
No! You
Yeah.
motherfucker!
The gem,
Oh my.
the gemstone is no longer in your pack, and he pulls it out of his own like pocket and holds it up and says, "This is what you're reaching for."
So you bullshitted. Okay, all right, Mike. This
There was no
motherfucker.
bullshitting.
I have a passive perception of 18. You're telling me I got fucking pickpocketed?
Well,
Oh,
In a
I
Durgat
bag of
has-
holding?
Durgat-
Durgat's got a stealth of. Ooh, wait a
Durgat's
minute.
got a
Okay.
Yeah.
stealth.
Durgat
well,
literally rolled like a 34, I believe it was.
No, my stealth was 28, my sleight of hand was 31. Their past perception of 18 isn't shit.
Holy shit, too.
Yeah. They easily got it with those rolls. It was pretty awesome, actually.
Not an ounce of bullshittery was had.
And he holds it up and he says, I can't give this to you. My partner is still in here. I need to find them a body.
Moss turns into a giant fucking. Let's see. What am I turning into?
Whoa, hold
Let's
on.
pick something scary.
whoa,
Yeah, no, you
but
can't
me?
stop it. It's a bonus action.
We're not even in combat.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're turning into a
Something
giant.
not giant. Just a saber tooth. We'll do the chimera
But
just so
me.
I can continue to talk.
With me. I'm
Just
supposed to put the dagger away.
a giant metallic saber tooth is now standing. Not giant, but large metallic saber tooth tiger.
And he
Standing
shrieks
directly
a
in his
little
face.
bit and kind of drops the stone and like fumbles it and like catches it and is just looking at you like wide-eyed and slowly begins to continue talking again and says, as I was saying, we meant you, them, and points at Tony and Durgat, your whole group. We meant no harm whatsoever. We just needed a way out of that cursed gemstone.
So whose body did you steal this time?
And he looks at you and says, well,
Do you even know?
He says, well, I was in the half-orc previously. And they look at you and say, but yes, the bodies that we've chosen are quite appropriate. These are the people who got us trapped in that gemstone to begin with.
Oh, these fuckers. How did
Insight
that
check.
happen?
No, a full insight check.
Okay,
I'll
go
believe
ahead.
this fucker for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
21.
Yes, he is telling the truth.
Moss is
He's,
still right in his face about it.
He says, these two were jealous of our successes and sabotaged this crystal as we were trying to uncover its secrets. And when we used it, we were trapped inside the gemstone and have been for roughly 30 years now.
Oh,
So what
These
were you
people-
guys?
that's rough, buddy.
And he looks at you and says, well, I was a human once, a male, but now it seems I'm this, and kind of, motions to the body he's currently in.
That would be a dwarf.
And he says, I must admit it's a bit of a change, but this body is actually magically inclined. Unlike your friend over there, and looks at Durgat.
I would like to divine smite, clap my hands together, and say,
says,
hurry up,
no offense.
get to the point.
And
Oh,
How
no.
about a reason
No
I
offense
don't
taken.
rip
I know
your
I'm
throat out?
Moss, if Talia wasn't allowed to get out the dagger, you're not allowed to do threats.
He won't break if I do. He'll break if she does.
and he
He
says,
will.
and he
If
says,
I hit him, not threatened.
Yeah.
and he
I have to
says,
hit him, I must
well,
throw.
because technically I didn't harm your friends. I did
You
not
took
No.
their body.
Just deceived us and hijacked their will,
Yes, which is
robbing them of time.
much less of a crime
Moss
than
bites in front of his face. Doesn't bite him, right in front of his face. If he tries to laugh, the second he goes, chomp inches from his face.
okay.
You are not in a position to laugh, friend. These people are very important to me.
Moss,
Choose your words carefully.
Moss,
No,
I'm
he's
okay.
right.
I'm okay. Tony
He's
is
right, though.
probably okay
He's
too.
right, though.
There's a soft steam coming off of the entirety of Moss, with how cold it is in the air and how hot his body is right now.
And
It's a deep, steady growl, a hum. It's like an idle car engine. Why should I not tear your throat out?
And he says, well, to be honest with you, I don't really have a good reason. Besides desperation driving my actions, I don't blame you one bit for being upset. But do note, I did not harm your friends. I simply borrowed their body and put them back in it in good time. So if you wish to kill me for that, well, then I guess there's nothing I can do to stop you. But if you do, take the gemstone and make sure that the soul inside gets a body somehow.
Might I ask, who is in this body? Or the soul?
In the
Gem.
Soulstone, yeah.
And
I was
he
about to ask
says,
the same thing.
and he says, well, my partner and the love of my life, Adden, he was in your strong, robust friend over there and motions towards Tony and says,
Tony shivers.
and Rivka says, but he decided to go back into the gym as long as I hold it and allow your friend to have his body back.
Oh.
Which,
Talia like
that-
gets the moment he says the love of my life, Talia gets so fucking soft. She's like this whole anger she has drops. Dead. Like, oh.
and he says, the only thing that I want truly is to just be on my way and confront this last person who ruined my life for the last 30 years.
One who cannot accept blame is not worthy of forgiveness. Do you understand? What you did was wrong.
And he says, yes, I do.
Act like it. And then he just pushes him. And then changes back into a normal form.
Okay.
Not as an attack, just like a shove back.
Okay. So, yeah, he kind of looks at you and says, may I go? Like holding his hands up.
Moss just stares. Doesn't say a word.
Hey, Rivka was your name?
you
Where
said-
do we find? Where would you find that other guy that it wasn't the guy that got you stuck in that gem?
No, it was a female drow.
Mm.
And he says, well, the last that I know was that they were here in Wintervale and they were living somewhere in squalor, doing small local jobs for some sort of a crime boss. I figure if I can find some kind of a criminal element here, that would be as fair of a place to start as any. It was just pure luck that we ran into this fellow here.
Okay, so... If you found someone with criminal contacts around here, what would you do?
And he says, well, you have to remember, I've been out of the game for 30 years now. I suppose I'd try to make some new contacts and find some work to be lined up.
What
Once
kind
I
of work?
set everything straight, of course.
What kind of work?
And he says, well, really anything that my skills could be useful for. Could figure something out, I'm sure.
Like pirating?
And he says, oh, no, I'm not one for the open ocean. The boat ride over here was complete torture for me.
Well,
Did you show that?
Surf-
Because if you did,
surf Talia's like serves you right for doing what you did.
Actually, I happen to know a guy around here.
I'm sure you know more than one guy. Sure,
True,
yeah.
but if is theory something you're good at? Because I know I am.
Moss leaves.
And he says, like watching Moss leave, he says, "Well, I'm kind of more proficient in the magic realm, so if I could find something to do with magic, perhaps."
Tony steps up at the first hair of magic and says, "So you said the person inhabiting me willingly stepped back in the stone to let me have my body back?"
And he says, "Yes, we discussed it and figured as long as one of us was out and could perform the ritual, that was really all that was needed. And we didn't want to occupy you from your friends and whatever life it is you're living, which, by the way, is quite interesting, I must say.
Thanks,
Live a
Why?
very
Yes.
Wait,
wild
why?
lifestyle, being hunted by bounty hunters and
Wait, what?
What?
owning keeps.
I'll
and-
fill you in. I'll fill you
What?
in. I'll fill you in. I'll fill you in. Tony
Okay.
was there for it. Tony should have been there for it,
I was.
right?
They were
was in
inside of
the
a fucking
rock.
crystal
That's so. That's
They're
right.
inside the crystal ever since, you know.
since the alchemy lab.
Yeah.
What wasn't? But didn't that one dude step out of Tony's body?
Yeah,
Now-
just now
Yeah,
in the
just
bathroom
now.
when we
Oh,
bought
oh,
cocaine.
okay.
So from the alchemy lab to now, they have nothing.
Okay. I'll fill you in a bit. Okay.
Yeah, they don't
Once they
remember
resolve-
like shopping into
Yeah.
shore. They don't remember.
I'm
like
so
fetching
livid I didn't
the
get to buy anything magic in Tertiary.
Oh. That should have been something that we should have looked out for.
I know. I also didn't remember any of your drinks. Not a single one.
And you did take the first store on the left when
I took the
we
first door on the left when
you
we got on
were
the ship.
ordering wine. You were ordering wine. Oh my god!
Yes.
I should have fucking known. Fuck.
Gave you so much.
I honestly did know, but like I knew something was wrong when Tony was scared of Moss that one time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fuck,
But,
we
like-
did
When did
just
Tony get
that.
scared of Moss?
When
The first time I turned around and saw you as a giant scorpion, as soon as I touched the stone, I found you terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember he was like, ah.
Yeah. Also, literally every moment you just asked me about my fucking parents. I was like, oh yeah, my parents. And when I like completely fumbled to talk about where I found the Hydra's head pendant, oh yeah, I know where I found that. Totally.
I honestly thought you just forgot about that.
No, I would never forget cutting his head off.
That was me. I cut his head off.
Moss
Yeah,
has
but it
no
was a
frame of
valiant
reference
moment.
for any of that.
No,
so
yeah. You're in the room, it's fine.
It's also very Moss fucking angry walks out of that fucking room.
Oh.
It's like everyone starts talking.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
we're
actually
hunting for
going
how
to
much?
leave the room as well.
Okay. Okay. So
happened?
we're hunted for 50,000. Was it 50,000? Yeah,
Yeah,
50,000 gold. We're
Holy
hunted
shit,
for
less?
50,000 gold. The four of us because they don't know about Moss yet.
Well, the last
my-
time we checked, it was less. I don't know what. We have stuff that.
Hydra's head still?
I'm not done. It gets worse. The one the one hunting us down is my girlfriend.
Holy shit!
Shut
man.
the fuck up!
You know what it's like now.
Or at least one of the people hunting you down.
One of the people who hunt us down who accepted the contract.
Okay, so let me get this
Yes.
straight. I made sure they found out that I decapitated one of these fuckers, put his head on a fucking stick, put it into the ground, and wrote a not so friendly letter, and they just come after. Okay, they're suicidal. I'm sorry about
We're
your
not
girlfriend,
killing her.
though. I
We're not
don't want-
hurting her.
No, well, if she tries to stab me, I'm going to defend myself.
No. Well.
She wouldn't. We're
Keep
we're
your
friends.
bitch on a leash.
Like we're the you
Fuck.
guys are my friends. She wouldn't hurt my friends.
She did
No, she
accept the
wouldn't.
contract though, and with your face on it. She saw your face and was like, "Dope,
Moss-
50,000
Moss-
gold."
No, Moss said there was a single tear dropping onto the parchment.
Okay, well then she saw your face, cried a bit about it, and was still like, "Dope, 50,000 gold."
Fuck yeah, realist.
You're good.
Oh, that's tight. Fuck.
Are we sure that Durgat got back into their own body?
No. Okay, so I'm sorry that I was so harsh about it, but
That is
I-
harsh.
Ah,
You
you're
fell
really-
out
I know
of my
about-
life.
I know, but from my own experience, I have done some stuff that I'm not proud of, and I did for the money. Do you think I want to become a thief?
Yes.
I honestly feel bad every single time I steal something from someone, and
Yes, he says. Sorry.
You literally had other options to be anything but a thief when you rolled your character.
I know.
I think it's
That
actually a
shows
cool
a
way to
Yes,
their
I
character.
died. No, I'm joking.
um,
She wouldn't. I know she wouldn't.
that no.
Mhm.
Will
Can I
should probably-
turn back to the
My mom-
the
my-
guy who's just
my-
been stood here the whole time staring at us arguing?
Okay,
The
I just grabbed Talia by the collar. My mom!
My mom.
And I just literally just run out of the room.
He is like slowly trying to like stand up and like make his way out the door. Like, yeah.
I
so-
turn to the dwarf and I'm like, what kind of magics are you involved in?
And he says, "Well, it's not your normal wizard school, to be sure.
He's a necromancer. No, okay.
I've
This dude's
It's a
so
necromancer.
fucking
Go to
nuts,
bed.
dude.
Go to bed.
Developed an interest in life after death.
Yeah.
You are a
What is the
necromancer.
world's general opinion on necromancy? Is this a burn the necromancers
mean,
kind of place, or
No, it's not like
no?
Should be.
like it's not like a taught school. Well, it is in some places, but like here currently, it's not.
So it's more like
um,
rare magic rather than like burn the heretic, he's raising the dead kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like taught. There's no guild for
Okay,
it.
so
I feel like
Tony's
that's also
definitely
like a
interested in this.
person-to-person type of thing.
Oh god. Oh no.
Tony thinks this is cool as fuck.
Oh no.
And he says, "Is this something that you're interested in learning?" I mean,
There is nothing I am not interested in learning.
No.
he
Oh my
says,
god.
it's the least I can do for what you've done for me. So
There is nothing I'm not
Wow.
interested in learning.
Jesus Christ.
and he
no.
says, "Well, let me get our situation sorted and figured out, and then we can set something up, and I can maybe start teaching you some things. You do have a somewhat magically inclined body, but it's really not the best." He kind of whispers, like taps you on the chest plate and says, "You're built more for brawn." Is what I'm trying to say, I suppose.
The
I'm in
audacity
half
these
the right
people
mind
have.
to smite you on the
The
spot.
audacity that these people have.
Go on.
Big fighter. Audacity
You may
these
live.
Okay,
people have.
okay, but no one was offended when they said, yeah, Durgan is not great magic.
Okay, yeah, but
You're
Tony's
not as
whole
Durgat's
thing
not
is,
obsessed with magic.
Fair.
You
And
said
at
no
that,
offense taken also.
the dwarf exits the tavern.
Yeah, Talia's also, after Durgat left, Talia's probably following them.
Yeah, I'm running at full speed towards my mom's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
You just
Oh,
hung out in a
definitely
bar
following.
for a couple hours.
Okay, so Durgat and Talia, or is the rest of the group like giving chase?
I'll come along.
Moss broke off on his own and is going back to the magic shop.
I was gonna go find Moss, but if Moss isn't here,
You stuck around for long enough, you'd be long gone.
yeah. Then in that case, I will follow the group.
Shorta's going to go to his room and think a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, Durgat and Talia begin running full speed towards Durgat's mother's house, and arrive there. The gate is closed, and you open the gate and like run up the steps and go to open the door, and it is
No,
locked.
I'm not opening the door. At first, I want to check the windows to see if I can see anyone inside.
Okay. It is dark, and it seems like there's no one inside.
Okay, well, now I'm gonna check the door. I'm checking the door for traps.
Okay. The door is not trapped, but
Traps.
it is locked.
Well,
It's
I'm gonna
Durgat's
unlock
mother.
it.
You expect anything less?
Durgat just touches the handle, and boom! Just an explosion.
Well, I mean,
You know
Durgat's
Durgat.
lived here. I'm sure
Killer
Durgat
Queen
has
already
key.
touched this doorknob. Okay, do I have the key? I probably do, right?
I would say that you have a key, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna lock it.
It'd be a little odd if you didn't.
Yeah.
To your
Yeah.
own house. So yeah, you open the door and walk inside, and just like what you saw through the window, there's no sounds. It's completely dark. Nobody appears to be inside,
Okay, I call out, Mom?
and you hear nothing.
I call out.
You're really doing it
Eckhart?
to us today, huh, Mike?
You also hear nothing calling out for Eckhart. What's that, Talia?
I said you're really doing it to us today, huh?
Okay, I'm looking around for, if she left a note.
Okay, roll
Hey, you did-
investigation.
Send her a letter, did you?
Yeah, I did. Please be good. 16.
16, okay. So you look around, and there is, like, you know, one of those decorative furniture pieces that people put, like, fine china plates on? You know, like
No.
one of those?
I think I saw him on the
Or
on
like an
TV
open
once.
glass cabinet.
Yeah, like almost
Yeah.
like a hutch almost.
Okay.
You do see like something like that in the main room, and there is a folded up piece of parchment there.
Okay, I'm taking the parchment. I hope it's a note from my mom.
Okay. And you open it, and it does read, Durgat, if you're reading this, then I'm not here. I got your letter, and trust your judgment on such things, and packed up and got Eckhart. We left, or we're currently leaving to go to Stone Grove, the capital, and you'll be able to find us there. I've lined up work with the Rose's Thorn. It's another brothel in the capital.
Thank the gods.
Talia is just like puts one of her hands on Durgan's shoulder, like just reading the letter as well over their shoulders, just like, hey, she's fine. She's out of
Tali, my
danger.
mom is fine. My mom is fine.
She's
Tony,
fine.
my
She's
mom is fine.
Tony's not here.
Ooh.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Tony
am.
is here.
Oh no, right,
Yeah, I
Tony
can.
is here. Yeah.
Screw you, I'm here.
Tony's just in the back of the room, like, fuck
You're
off!
not here! It's like, hey, is everything alright? Fuck off, Tony!
God damn it, Tony! Why are you here?
Fine.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm so glad.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's okay.
You forgot about me.
And once everything is sorted out here, we can go check up on her in the
Yeah.
capital. If you like.
Yeah, I think she actually is from Stone Grove. I'm not entirely sure. I think she mentioned something like that like years ago. Anyway, let's get to Yrmir,
Yeah,
Oh,
let's.
Yrmir.
the Black Pearls. He even got several clams so they can reproduce, right? And the fuck ton of black sand. And
Sure,
other
I don't know
stuff.
about clams, I'm not gonna lie. But I hope so. Be a nice surprise for you, I mean.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just so
Yeah.
glad.
It's
Okay.
all gonna be okay.
I was so worried there. I thought it was like, I don't know, someone took her hostage or. I'm so glad she's fine.
Yeah, I'm really glad too.
Okay, let's go to Yrmir.
Yeah,
Head over.
haven't seen him in forever.
So
Miss
before
him.
they get there, Moss gets there well before that, hopefully.
Yes, he does.
Hopefully with enough time for that cloak to get rid of.
That one scene
Really?
from Emperor's New
Really?
Groove. How did you get here before us? How did we, Kronk? Well, it beats me. By all accounts, it just makes sense.
You see, we used a jump cut.
The monta!
Gonna need a monter.
Anyway, Yrmir.
But yes,
Yes.
Moss
Yeah.
goes to Magic Man.
Yeah, Tony goes into the shop.
Tony?
Moss?
Tony?
Or Moss, I mean, sorry.
I know, we look so alike.
We're both big metal men.
And he sees you and hears you come into the shop. And he's waiting behind the counter and says, just in time. I just finished it up. And holds up like the folded over cloak and puts it on the countertop in front of you.
Moss picks it up and like does the the shakeout of the fabric. It's a good look at it.
Okay. And it is still your size. It hasn't shrunk back down yet. And Yarmir looks at you and says, "So, you already know about the size changing property of it." And proceeds to tell you that basically once per day you can cast Minor Illusion on yourself.
Minor illusion doesn't let you change your own appearance.
Or, wait, no. Yeah, sorry, it's not Minor Illusion I'm thinking of.
Disguise self? Maybe.
Probably, right?
It could be. Hold on real quick.
Major
We're
illusion,
looking up
I don't know.
stats.
I'm
Major
probably
Illusion.
able to cast Major Illusion on myself.
Disguise self, sorry.
Once per day, disguise self.
Yes.
That's a bummer. Go for a little
Um,
more. That's alright. And change size. Disguise
It's pretty
self.
switchy.
Once per day. Beautiful. Does it require attunement?
and he says, yes, it does.
Moss nods and then just throws on the cloak, pulls it over his head as a hood. He paid before, so he just bows deeply. Thank you.
And he says, yes, of course. Come back if you ever need anything else enchanted.
Moss nods and then turns and walks out and goes to the tailor.
Okay, cool.
Don't need to roleplay that out. He just goes and picks up his clothes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and the clothes are done as well. The tailor worked fairly fast, knowing what it was that you needed and didn't need, and picking out the materials already. So yeah, by the time you get there, everything's already made.
Wonderful. How much for the pants and shirt?
And he says 35 gold.
Hey. 35 gold, done and dusted, sets it down. Just bows and leaves.
Okay, cool. And he kind of watches you as you make your way out and begins working on other clothes that he has.
Speaking of which, Hardrada is taking a short rest while everyone is doing this.
Okay.
Just so you know.
The music, by the way, is a vibe. You imagine. That is a vibe.
Dramatic shopping.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, it's about to be.
As a Moss, it finishes up there and gets his cloak and I guess goes back to the tavern, goes to his room and locks it. Sits in his room.
Okay, cool.
That is a mood, frankly.
So the rest of you are heading towards Yaramir?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we are.
Okay, cool.
Aye, Capitan.
Am I unmuted? Yes, I am. Okay.
So yeah, you make your way towards Yaramir's shop and come in, and you see that he is currently behind the counter, and
The dang Yermir!
and he looks at all of you and says, "Ah, my favorite customers."
Hold my arms out, like, we're here.
And he just like biceps a handshake and just like gives you a hug,
Oh, give him a big bear hug. Pat him on the back.
and he says, it's felt like ages since I've seen you all last. What
Ages.
what have you
How's
been
my
up to?
favorite enchanter?
What kind of mischief have you guys been causing?
Can I just say, Yermir notices I am very buff now.
Trying to impress him.
I am no longer a scrawny bastard.
Let me roll a perception. Ooh, 2. Yaramir does not notice that because you're
Damn.
Aww.
Hey, Yurmir, you don't want to know. Trust me.
It's been so much. It's like
Also,
Spaz has
Oh.
been with me the whole time.
I
It's like,
spoke to a god.
He like looks at Spaz and says, "Oh, a blink dog.
Yeah,
Wow.
look at him, is he the best?
I've heard they're tough to tame and keep control of."
Oh no,
They are.
he's like, no, shut up. She's like petting his Spaz's head, And it's like, no, he's the bestest boy that has ever been.
And he like puts his hand out for Spaz to sniff it. Roll
Just
that
fucking
animal
bites
handling
his
check,
hand off.
right?
Me. I swear to God. If
Oh, is
been-
that a blink dog? I've heard they're magically resilient at coming back to life.
Come on, roll. Hello. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that twice.
Look at that, 17.
Either way, it's really good.
Kept going higher, Jesus.
Okay. And Spaz like sniffs Yaramir's hand and like gives like licks his hand, and
Licks
his
it.
tongue takes up like, you know, it's as big or bigger as Yaramir's entire hand. And he's like, oh, he's a big boy, isn't he? And starts like scratching him behind the ear. Like the foot starts to do like the paddle.
Yeah.
And looks around to you all and says, you couldn't have come back at a better time. It's been an odd feeling around town lately.
Hey,
yes,
That's
about
why
that.
we're here.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
that person, but quick recommendation: you might want to pack up your shop and go somewhere else.
Yeah, you
Away
might
from
want to.
Blackfield?
Things are. Look.
Long story short, Blackfield is attacking Wintervale in like a week or so, or something, and they have a giant black dragon.
And he says, a dragon
Mhm.
Yes.
You need to leave.
helping people? He like kind of stutters on his words a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't believe it too when we saw it, but we got to see his destructive power, or its destructive power, right up close.
And he like looks
Yes.
around at his shop and says, this shop is all that I have, though.
You have much more than this show.
You could pack. I'm
Aw.
pretty sure you could make it anywhere if you pack up most of it and just go to another city. I'm sure you could make a successful business there, and depending on how this goes, you might be able to come back.
And he says, well, that is true.
But if you don't want to move, can you make my armor black dragon proof? And this shield. I got a shield. I got some new cool fighting abilities. I learned a lot of stuff over there.
And he says
Yeah, good,
something
I
like
think.
that. The materials are extremely rare for it. I could
As
do
rare
that.
as. And I pull out the bucket of clams and give him a look.
And he kind of looks in the bucket and says, oh, clams. Well,
Clams.
And then I
thank you.
pull out the pearl from the within the water and the sand, and I show it to him.
This is where you ask if you want to marry. I'm joking. I'm joking.
and he says, oh, the pearls.
The pearls.
You found
And the
some."
clams that make them, and the sand they're made of.
And he like looks at everything and he says, "Oh my goodness, this is probably gonna last me for a while. I probably won't be eating pearls for a good bit."
If you just
And-
keep these alive, just need some black sand, see if you can get that imported.
And he like kind of, spreads out his arms and like brings all of you in for like the group kind of huddle
Aw.
thing.
Aw.
And says, "Well, thank you for all of this. These are definitely gonna help if I do indeed need to pack up and try to start somewhere else. Maybe I'll go to Oakthorn or Stone Grove, perhaps."
Hardrada isn't there.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Good job.
Thanks for the
isn't it?
update.
Thank you.
So
Hey,
technically,
maybe there's like a cool house somewhere that's isolated and not near a dragon that he could stay at. That'd be crazy.
Shh. My roommate, Yo, Yaramir.
And he says, "Yes."
So, how would you feel about living in a castle in the desert near a very prosperous town? You could set up a business.
And he says, "Well, I've lived in Vudar before. The heat doesn't really agree with me. That's part of the reason why I'm here in Wintervale."
oh, I feel that.
He says, I much prefer the cooler climates."
I understand. This climate's about to get a lot hotter.
Not harder, but a bit more skin melting.
And he
So,
says,
So,
Things
So,
are
well, that-
looking
that all
Grimlock?
sound. He says, "Well, that all sounds terrible. Do you have any idea when this calamity is supposed to happen?"
Well,
How long do
in
I
a
have?
week
How
or
long have we
more.
been out?
5 days.
5 days.
5 days. 5 days?
This is day 6.
No, yeah, I'm asking in character.
Yeah, 5 days.
5 days?
So we have a week, right? A bit more.
About yeah.
Maybe a bit more.
Okay. And Yaramir says, "Well, it's not a lot of time to get everything packed. I guess I'll just have to pack the essentials." And
We can help.
Yeah. We're your friends. We can help you if you need us.
she says, "Well, I'd hate to impose, but
You would not be imposing.
if you're wanting to help out, I certainly won't say no either."
There's
I can
nothing
ask you,
more
what,
that I want.
technically, what would you need in order to make my armor, I don't know, acid proof or less easy to melt?
And she says, "Well, I would need a few different ingredients. Let me write out a list for you if it's something that you want to pursue."
Yeah,
And
we got a fetch quest vendor at our home base, y'all.
And,
RPGify.
I will Discord that to you
Okay.
after the game. And he hands you the note.
Thank you.
Says, "Just find all of these, and I'm sure I can make something of it."
I said, we have a lot of work to do here, but before
We do?
well, it's gonna
I know.
melt in 5 days, isn't it?
Fair.
Well, we don't know if yeah. They said
Wait,
a
we
couple
should
of weeks.
wait. The diplomats are currently going to Stone Grove. No, wait, I wasn't there for that. Sorry.
Yeah, the Talia meant to said the right? The diplomats aren't the politics like aren't they doing some politics stuff in the capital to ask for to do that stuff? She says that in character because she is terribly at remembering politics.
Yeah, they were sailing to Ethovon to
Yeah,
meet with the royal court and
exactly.
basically tell their
the ship-
side of things again and
The
try
ship
to
what like left the day we left as well, so maybe they're
Okay.
already there.
And I did give the Sultan the letter from
Yeah, that's
probably the
true.
Baron. I hope that letter made it.
Okay.
As proof.
So we do have a lot of stuff to do here.
I mean, we should
Yeah.
probably
I'm sorry.
well, my thoughts are we should probably go to whoever, like the mayor or something of the city, and tell them about the situation so the city can evacuate or something.
But before I go, Yaramir,
What do you
can
think?
you make me a thing?
And he
And
says,
can I watch?
"For you, yes, of course."
It's been a long time since I got to open this book, and I open up my book of enchantments, and I pull out my little quill, and I'm like so ready to take so many notes about this.
Okay. And she says, "Oh yes, of course. For you, anytime." And he says, "What is it that you were looking to get enchanted?"
I'm gonna just rummage through my stuff, see if there's literally anything. I'm more interested in him enchanting it than I am actually getting a thing I want enchanted.
Actually, if you think about getting my rapier enchanted to
Oh!
make more damage.
Also, Yaramir, I found this book. I give him the book of enchantments I found in my room when we went to the
Aw.
castle. I found this book of enchantments.
And he says, "Oh, I have most of this set, but this was the only volume that was missing from it." And you see him like walk
Well-
over to a bookcase and slides it into like the free slot at the end.
Thought you'd like it.
He says, "Oh, of course, I love it. I've been looking for this book for years."
It's a good read from what I can read of it, which is mostly none, but...
So about
My
the
armor's
enchanted
not enchanted.
rapier.
You mean your magic book rapier?
Yes, that one.
Because it already is enchanted.
Yeah, I know,
That
but I want to
magic
do some
something
extra
ra-
damage on it. If not, I just give him two of my daggers or something.
+2 takes it to very rare, doesn't it? That's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh no, I just want some, I don't know, radiant damage or something, whatever Tony had. I don't know shit about magic.
Alright, what Tony had was disgusting.
Oh,
That's why
like,
that's on
oh.
the wall in his room now.
I just want some more damage that isn't stabbing damage, just in case.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
change the damage
magical.
type.
It's magical stabbing damage because it's already magic.
I know, but like Tony did have a glaive with some extra radiant damage after he gave it to
It's
Yurmi to
force
enchant.
damage.
Force damage, whatever. I want some extra damage.
Okay. And he looks at you and says, I think I know something I can do with this. And, asks for the rapier and says, how about a little poison damage on this?
Ooh, I would like that.
He just
And he
drips
said-
like green liquid all over it.
Just
He
rubs
just,
it
like-
with some ooze.
Right?
Nickelodeon's ooze. It's like it's
Oh,
trademarked on
God.
the bottle.
And he says,
Gunge.
yes, I had a feeling you might like something like that. And he says, give me a day. Come back tomorrow morning and it should be ready.
How much does it cost?
And he says, for you guys, 100 gold.
That's... Yeah, I'll take that. I just give them my 10 platinum coins they still have from the last time we were here.
Okay. And he looks at Tony and the rest of you and says, so what do I owe you for the pearls and the clams?
You owe me nothing.
Dude,
You owe me some hours of your time watching you enchant things.
worth 500 gold.
And he looks around at the others and says,
Can't
and
you just give us some gold? I know we just paid you, but like...
he said, well, yes, of course. That's why I was
Yes.
asking.
This is a personal endeavor.
Oh wait a second. How many... Do you have any healing potions here?
And he says, I have a few spare ones, yeah.
What kind and how many?
And he says, just regular strength healing potions. I have 4 of them.
Okay. I mean, you can give us some gold and those. It was...
I mean, if you
what-
want.
Like everything.
Fuck.
And he says, yes, of course. That's a fair price, I
God bless
believe.
him. God bless
And
this man.
gives you the 4 healing potions and also a bag that has 500 gold in it.
Oh.
Dope. I'll take 100 gold from that.
Okay.
I also paid 100
Convenient
gold from that
100.
because I am broke as fuck.
Yo, is that 5 people in a party and a bag of 500 gold? Wow. I think I'm gonna take a 300 no.
And I'm gonna
Insane.
give one of the healing potions to Talia, one to Tony, and I'll keep 2.
Thank you.
I
I have cure wounds, but thank you.
would like Jeremy to
Well,
enchant.
the last time we need, just in case we need some healing spells without any spell slots.
Fair.
Your potion is nothing, but thanks, we'll take it anyway.
You enchant my helmet. I don't know what with. He could surprise me.
And
I
he
trust Jeremy.
And
We all do.
says, yes, if you trust me with it, I'm sure I could do something fun with it.
And one more thing. Can I watch you do it?
And he says, yes, of course.
I want to watch.
I want to watch.
It's gonna be just like old times, Jeremy.
Hey,
Me-
hey, Yurmir, for the record, do you know any necromancers around here? Or in general?
And he says, necromancers, no, it's not a widely taught school of magic, so I'm afraid they're rare.
Okay, thanks anyway.
And do you give him your helmet?
I do.
Okay.
You can all now see Tony's face.
Wow.
Which is
don't know what he looks
surprising.
like.
All
Yeah, what
pale,
does he
except
actually
for,
look
a
like?
tan square around his
I'll
eyes.
draw him at
Hot
some
it-
point for
He's
you.
hot as
Okay.
shit.
Oh, he's. Ooh.
Well, he's shredded, for sure.
He
Got
used to be like a
jaw like
weaselly
cut
little bastard,
Diamonds.
but like. He's. Ooh.
How many C's? How many C's is he thick?
I don't know if I can count that many C's.
Fuck.
I Googleplex.
Anyway, moving on from how disgustingly sexy I am.
The fuck when you simp over yourself.
Is he currently enchanting them? Or will that be
Yeah.
happening later today? Then I have a few hours to sit in a shop and watch.
Okay. Yeah, and he's like, you know, looking over your items and deciding like what to kind of do with them, and you see him do a few things with Durgat's rapier and chisel in some runes,
And I note them down.
mutter like some incantations.
And as I see him noting down the runes, I mutter to myself, it matters not only just the runes, but also the order.
And after he finishes, the blade of Durgat's rapier begins to have like a green tinge to it, like kind of flashing in and out. And your rapier does +1, or not +1, but a D4 of poison damage on a successful hit. And he looks at Tony's helmet and says, "Now this is a tricky one because you don't want anything in particular."
I trust your judgment.
And he says,
If you need time to think this one over.
And he says, "Yes, I think that would probably be best. I don't want to
To
give
rush
you
it.
something that you won't use or something useless. So give me some time to ponder over it."
A man of quality.
And hands you your helmet back and says, "But I won't need it for that process. This is simply idea drafting."
Well, thank you. I'll be sure to come back when you've whipped up something amazing.
And he looks around at everyone else and says, "Well, I'm certainly glad that all of you are back. I could probably leave my assistants in charge for a little bit if you want to go to the tavern and get some drinks and catch up a little bit."
Ooh. I would pull up my
Love
metal
that.
collar if it could move. You're
Tony,
me.
say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
oh,
I'd
yeah.
I'd love to. You're me.
Exactly.
And he looks behind him at the two gnomes and says, "All right, watch the shop. I'll be back in a little bit." And they kind of give like the "yes, sir" kind of sign as he begins like putting on a nice like cloak and getting ready to go out to the tavern with all of you.
It's a date. It's a date.
Finishes.
Yo, I have that fancy blue suit.
And finishes getting ready and kind of looks around at all of you and says, "Well, I'm ready when you are."
It would be funny if you did two things. Either you wore the blue suit over your armor, or you wore the blue suit but still had your helmet on.
Also, start the helmet on. How dressed up is he? Is he like high fashion, very fancy?
Yeah, I mean, overall, like, he presents himself as dressed very loudly and quite fancy for
Well, if he's quite fancy, I'm gonna change up my suit at some point.
so even though
Really?
like he appears to be dressed like very fancy, like that's just kind of normal everyday wear for him.
That's just Jeremy.
Yeah.
That's so Jeremy.
And begins walking out the door and says, "Well, to the tavern."
Let's go.
Oh.
Yeet.
He's probably expecting us to go to a nicer tavern.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
begins
probably.
walking towards the direction of the tap and barrel, like the nice.
I say, one moment, Jeremy. Let me just go gather the rest of the group. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised to see the new form the driver's taken on.
And he says, "Oh, yes, no, I've already seen him. He stopped by the shop earlier.
Oh,
He, it's not looking too good, is he?"
Don't say it in front of him. He's quite self-conscious about it.
We'll tell you all about it once we're at the
Yeah,
tavern.
yeah,
She
exactly.
says, "Yes, that seems like quite the story."
Mm. And I
Oh, it's
go into the
Yurmir is our bestest friend. I swear to God.
terrible tavern. New name. Searching for
The terrible.
my companions.
I'm stealing that.
Oh,
One of these
did
days,
Sam
yeah,
come
you're
out of the
gonna-
gem with me? Do I still have Sam?
Yeah,
Did he come out?
Sam, yeah,
Nice.
Sam came out with you. Yeah. Yep.
Alright, well then I'll continue looking for my companions.
Okay. Yeah, and you see, well, Moss is in his room, right?
Yeah.
Moss and
I think they're
Hydrada.
both in their rooms, aren't
Yeah.
they? Didn't you
Yeah.
Would
guys
Moss like
see them
to
both
stay in
there?
his room? I'll knock on the
Yeah.
door.
So those are the only two that aren't currently with the group, is Moss and Hydrada.
Moss opens the door.
Hey, we're having a night of festivities with some friends. Do you wanna come and, you know?
Alcohol sounds nice about now.
Yeah,
Walks up to the door and follows.
doesn't it?
Come on, buddy. And I put my arm around his massive chassis again.
Slightly softer this time because he's got leather armor on.
And the first time in a while since Creepy Book Inhabit Your Corpse didn't do it.
You should probably
I'll
also
go
to
to
Hadrada.
I'll go to Hadrada's room.
That's actually a good point. As you go to do that, Moss kind of backs away for a second.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just kind of looks
What's
at
up?
you up and down and then just nods. I'll wait downstairs.
Okay. See you in a minute. I go up to Hadrada's room. Say, Hadrada,
Yes?
there's vodka on the menu.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know, I get Hadrada
But I've
excited
had
about
enough
anything.
room to attune to that enough time to attune to that cloak.
Attunement takes
Short
like,
rest.
is it a short rest? I thought it was.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Short
Okay.
rest.
Yeah, I would say that you've been in there long enough to attune to it.
Yeah. Got my forms back.
Catching
too.
up with Urimir and stuff with the rest of the party, I'd say it took like a good hour or so. Putting in their orders and whatnot.
And as I see Hadrada burst out of his room, I assume.
Yeah, he comes like barreling out of his room.
He
at
just
the
runs
promise
through the
of
door
alcohol.
with like an Hadrada-shaped hole in the wall in the door.
So Moss is downstairs, and he will drink you under the table. Give me a minute. And I go to my room, and I change into my brilliant slick suit for the evening.
I use, I get into my dress and use disguise self to make myself look feminine.
Feminine.
Okay.
Yeah, like not
Go
even
for it.
like Hardrada at all, just completely like beautiful woman.
Like current Hadrada, but with more assets.
Hadrada but hot.
Hardrada but hot.
Okay.
And
So,
I'm
yeah.
come back down.
Okay.
So, gentlemen,
As you come down, you do not see Moss. There is a weirdly very, very large man standing over at the counter of the bar getting a drink.
Still like
Moss,
somewhat moss shaped, but
Very, very large. You turn around, he's just very, like, think Joe Everyman, like this.
you're not
Sit-
like a furball or anything. You're like legitimately
No.
just a very tall human.
Yeah, no, just a tall as shit person. So he's probably just a little bit shorter, not too much shorter, but he's like probably about just barely taller than you, if not like comparable. You know,
Nice.
very, very nice, clean robes. Go down very similar to what you saw the nobles wearing around Plague Sula, like just very clean, put together, buttoned all the way down. Nice soft facial hair, or hard all along the bottom of the chin, very big and bushy, that bleeds into very long flowing gold hair that go down his back a little bit.
Moss looks surprisingly like I envisaged Tony. That's
Your
scary.
pleasure.
That's actually scary. You look
this
terrifyingly
is
like
just
how I
person-
picture myself.
Person Moss.
Yeah. I like the idea that Moss looked at Tony and was like that. Does he respond to my clap of
Yeah.
attention?
So as you call Moss, he turns around and he's got like a mug in his hand, and just kind of like raises the mug to you, and then pounds the entire thing in one go.
Well, that's him. I look at Hadrada kind of confused.
And like you look at Hardrada, and Hardrada just looks different now.
He's got titties.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Hadrada. Come on. And I lead the well, I would say the boys, but I lead us all towards the highfalutin bar.
Okay, cool.
So here's a question: does disguise self actually change me? Or is it
There's-
just illusion?
There's limitations on it.
It's just illusion, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me.
It says like your physical
Would
appearance doesn't
feel
hold up
nothing.
to
Yeah, okay,
scrutiny.
no, it's just for flavor. So yeah, Moss goes to wrap his arm around Tony, and the illusion looks normal, but you still feel that it's kind of like just his hand
It's
on
just
your
cold.
opposite shoulder. It's not cold. It's soft because moss. There's always
Yeah.
a bit of moss, and when he
But
takes
it's-
his hand away, the moss is still left on your shoulder.
Aw.
As he looks for a bit, just like everybody else, and enjoys walking through the street and not being stared at for once. Literally the first time ever.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
Yeah, and you see that Moss's new appearance is very different compared to his metallic one. Like anything made of flesh compared to that is going to be, very different looking. But
He's got a mouth, and it doesn't quite move right with his talking because
It just doesn't move at all.
No, it tries to move, but it's kind of like the English overdubs of
Yeah.
Japanese movies.
Yeah.
Like that, but not quite as bad. I imagine it lines up like a little bit.
I go, it's not quite as bad. Because that would be too comically extreme.
Well, because it's like otherwise, it's like what's the point of the disguise self? You got to
Yeah.
be able to notice that he doesn't know how a mouth works, but doesn't want to like be an instant giveaway.
Yeah. Anyway, we enter the bar.
how
on
does
a
he
big-
drink if he doesn't have a mouth?
He's
That
got
falls
a
on his
plate
face.
underneath. Like the faceplate can come up a bit.
Sort of like Bender.
Exactly.
Nice.
And there's a port, an intake.
Got it. Cool. So yeah, you rejoin with Urimir and begin making your way towards the tavern, the nicer tavern, not
Cool.
the terrible tavern.
The terrible tavern.
TT.
So terrible.
The TT.
And walk in, and this place is bright. It's brighter in appearance, and also the lighting isn't quite as somber.
I can't remember the name of the barkeep, and that really upsets me.
The barkeep is un momento,
Por favor.
por favor.
Por favor.
Grace.
Grace.
Yeah.
Come and say hello, Grace. Can you fix me and my companions here a whiskey, a wine, a reasonable glass of vodka? He's been a good boy recently, but not too much. An ale. Boss, what do you drink?
Whatever and then he stops and looks at the table. Looks up. Ale. I'll have ale.
Another ale, and for Urami.
Okay. And she tells you that for all of that, it will be.
What does Urami want? I'm asking Urami what he wants.
Oh, sorry. Urimir looks at you and says, "Oh, I'll take a scotch."
And a scotch.
Take that fat ass.
And looks
If
at
you please.
looks at the tavern keeper and says, "You know my usual scotch, shaken, not stirred. Gives like a polite laugh.
Oh,
She just kind of rolls her eyes.
It's not a
at the
cocktail. What? It's just a bottle of scotch. You don't.
that
How you
that
can't
hurt.
shake
That
that?
hurt me on a deeply personal level, Michael. Do you
understand?
understand? No, this is serious. You don't joke about shaking scotch, you monster.
And she rolls her eyes at like the terrible dad joke and says, "Yes, I know your usual." And,
The whole
Back
table
out.
Right,
just
so he
starts
was
roasting
joking.
the
He was
table.
joking.
Yeah.
I swear at some point, it seems I've known how they interact with each other for like 1 second, but I feel like she's this close from just smacking him all over the place.
Scotch shaken.
and he looks around at all of you and is like, "Calm down, everyone."
No, I'm barreling with laughter if it was clearly a joke.
And takes a sip off of his cup of scotch after the bartender comes out with all your orders.
One of which has been tampered with beyond belief.
All of you roll con saves. Poison. Tony didn't even use his cup of detect poison.
It's fine. I'll get married. And we find a table for 6.
Okay, yeah, and there's a larger table, kind of off in one of the corners, and it seems like it'll be large enough for all of you.
We don't have to push 2 tables together.
You might need to because Moss is a bit bigger. So
Wow.
We'll push 2 tables together then.
you could either like sit in a chair at the end of the table or just push over
The
another
one
table.
asshole at the end of the booth. There's too many. There's not enough seats.
Just the guy sat at the head of the table.
Poor
Steph's not-
bastard. I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you all here
push
today.
together a table. He can sit down with us.
Okay. Yeah, and it's much more spacious. Like everyone's not like crammed together.
Nice.
And for once, it looks like Moss isn't taking up that much room. But then, like, you try to like push in, and you stop like a foot away from where the arm is.
Bump into him.
Your skin like creases where you're touching him and stuff. Yeah, and you begin.
Oh yeah. Also, yeah. Durgat and Talia. There's just this weird human dude just chilling with the guys.
He's like, oh yeah, right. It's like,
The guys.
Tony, with the
Oh
guy
yeah.
and-
With the
fuck
guy
is that?
and Hadrada but titties.
You guys don't even realize it's Hardrada probably because I changed
This is
like
my
my
I
I
like
face and
to
everything.
imagine it's
Hadrada
just
with
still
titties.
your tiefling, your dwarven tiefling face, but then just like a smoking hot bod in the dress.
Hey Tony, who the fuck are those two?
yeah, like,
This is Man Moss. And this is Hadrada with titties.
okay, yeah. You
Yeah, I
it's
know.
fine, sure.
I didn't want to ask questions either.
Okay, I can see it now.
Yeah, that checks out, I guess.
Moss just kind of like touches the middle of the table, and like one little man Moss touches the middle of the table, and one little flower just comes out of the center of the table, and he turns and he smiles. If I
You're good?
talk, it kind of gives it away, but at least now we don't get stares.
You're
He
getting
kinda,
the
like,
hang of the
looks-
smiling
He
thing.
looks over the room and notices that like there might be 1 or 2 people glancing, but it's not like everyone's staring at him.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like looking at it, and you see like a smile across Moss's face. Something
I'm
was
so
not
proud of you.
physically possible to see before.
I'm so proud of you, Mo.
Jorge.
And Urimir says, "Well, looks like that cloak's working out pretty well for you then."
Oh, you
Is-
made this?
And he says, "Oh, of course I made this.
Awesome,
Can't you
awesome.
tell it's my own work?"
Is
Didn't
Moss
think of
kind of
it
like
before, but-
leans in and gets really close with the 2 of them as they're getting closer to each other. He's like, "Would you be able to make it last even longer? This is," and he like again like sits up, looks around the room, gets back down. "This is awesome."
Oh, oh.
He says, "Well, I might be able to make the effect last a bit longer, but even enchantments have their own limitations."
Moss puts a bag of 300 gold on the table. "Whatever it takes."
Okay.
And Urimir just kind of looks like dumbfounded, like looking around at everyone else and looking at the gold, like, Yeah, I'll
He's got a
Definitely get right
fucking
on it.
sly ass grin across his face.
I said to
Moss-
Moss, as he drops the skull on the table, I appreciate you're very excited about this, but you do have a few things to learn about the social interactions. This looks like a drug trade right now.
Moss looks
So-
at Tony. What are drugs?
Nah,
Okay, so
You'll learn
Moss
when you're
makes
older.
Moss makes a mushroom grow in his hand.
I know when you're
And then
older,
like
I
a
think you that right.
smirk. He has a smirk and he winks at you because he can do these things now.
Hardrada's just like, ooh, mushrooms.
Jesus.
No.
Uramir like sees this and like goes to reach for it. Are you like pulling back, or
I let him take it. I hold it out for him to take it.
he like kind of breaks it off?
Did he
and,
take the gold, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have 0 gold. That was literally that was exact change. 300 gold. I have nothing.
And,
It seems like we're all just using up all our money now.
What would you spend all of your money on, Tony? Bringing my father back to life, Moths, looking manly.
Being a man. I'm a man.
And I'm a woman. As far as anyone in this bar can tell.
and I
And,
don't know.
Uramir like looks at the mushroom and says, "Well, I think I'll save this for later," and puts it in his pocket.
But do
Saucy
not.
guys.
Please
You're-
tell me I can actually grow psychedelics on command. Please.
That's a business, y'all.
You never know until he takes it, I guess.
I try to do it and I take one right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Moss has never tried this before. And now he's going to think about it because he understands that there are things that can do that.
I shouldn't
Absolutely.
have told him.
Okay, so I will just politely stand up and excuse myself to the bathroom.
There is no effect.
Damn it.
Aw.
I'm going to excuse myself and head to the bar table and order some more vodka.
Bar
Huh?
table.
I would like
After
to
a minute, I
excuse
come-
myself, join him, and order an equal amount of vodka.
After a minute, I come back and see if the bar is or like the building's still standing.
Talia just like sees this and she's like holding up her thumb in the way of like, it's fine, nothing
I cast
happened
Thunderwave.
yet. No!
No, you have to cast on my mom. That's the important part.
Don't.
Yeah,
Oh
don't
my
do that. If
God.
you
Yeah,
do
but
that, I
can
will
you
kill
ritually cast it?
Oh,
damn it.
but that, oh, this
Yeah,
has been a
okay.
good one. Oh, that's 2 in 1. That's 2 in 1 session. Oh my.
I sit back down at the table.
Oh, my dog came over to check on me. He thought I was hurting.
Yeah, and you sit back down at the table, and you see that your drink is in your empty spot waiting for you.
Hey.
Cheers.
Connor, you return at the table with that tall glass of vodka.
I wouldn't say it's a tall glass, but
Yeah, sure.
Just
right.
comparatively.
I'll stay at the bar table.
Okay,
Bar
then I
desk,
guess I'm
whatever you
staying
call it.
here. I sit
Oh.
here, I pull up to the bar on my stool.
Boss, gets up and goes to the bar because he wants more
I
alcohol.
like
and he
to
can just-
drink with Hadrada, cause Hadrada is our mate. And when we drink with Hadrada, he gets it down in
8.
5, 4. You have to drink 3.
Uramir joins you over at the bar.
And
Yes,
I guess I chug it as fast as possible.
Roll a con save.
no. Oh no.
Come on. 12, that's not very good.
Like how
Okay.
Tony automatically succeeds persuasion checks to make people drink alcohol. Just because of
Pussy.
Yeah,
When I
you
was in
feel
college.
you feel the warmth of the liquor, and you feel buzzed, even after.
When he picks up the glass, I want to race him to finish.
Okay, like a chugging contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never out chugging dwarf.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no! Oh, my god!
no.
Oh my god!
Fuck, I'm gonna make
Oh, I
all
nearly
kinds of
reached 0
embarrassing
decibels
comments.
with that laugh.
This is
Yeah, you try to match pace with Hadrada, and as you're chugging, you choke on some of the liquid
Comes out his
and like
nose.
spit like a bunch of beer back or a bunch of alcohol back into your glass, and then it kind of
Oh.
spills out on the floor.
Whoa.
Party
Sorry.
foul.
Oh,
Fuck. I mean,
Talia is just
And the tavern
really
keeper's
immune.
looking at you and says, "I can see this is going to be a rowdy bunch, huh?"
Sorry about that.
Moss walks up and
Oh, yeah,
orders
it's
an
just-
entire bottle of rum.
Oh my god. Talia's just like sitting at the table that everyone is sitting at, shaking her head and watching in pure amusement.
Can I call over Italian and be like, "You're the best one. Come on."
So you order a bottle of rum. The bartender tells you that for the rum it will be 8 silver. Sorry.
Moss reaches into his pocket and feels nothing.
I put
Talia
down
just
3
like,
silver. Wait, how pissed am I?
You're not pissed, but
I
you're
mean,
more
you just spit a
embarrassed.
bunch of alcohol all over
Right.
yourself. Take that as
I'll,
a
I'll,
word.
I'll throw
Embarrassed.
down a gold piece for the housekeeping
Okay.
to cover Moss's ball.
Talia also like, walks up and is like, alright, if I have to.
Come
And,
on, in the left corner, and I put down 2 more silver for another bottle.
Okay. Yeah, and the tavern keeper hands you the bottle of rum. All of you guys roll perception checks.
Oh no.
Fuck. Perception.
25.
Double ones!
For the
Holy
record, I'm not
Fucking
drinking.
snake eyes.
I'm
Are you
not
sure I'm
drinking
not hammered?
anything. 14.
Okay.
Mike,
Not.
are you sure I'm not hammered?
I mean, you might be. Yeah.
Just roll 2 more.
So not that Moss would know this, but looking at the rum bottle, there is a familiar sigil on it.
Oh my god, no!
What sigil?
It
No,
a sigil.
you.
It
Shut
is
up!
a sigil of a palm tree with a setting sun in the background, and it is the same sigil that the crew saw in Santine when they were at the tavern there and made the deal with Shalisa, the Dragonborn tavern owner, to essentially go back to a person, Decta Ducor, here in Wintervale, who had
Take
come to them about trying to strike up some kind of a
I'll be
deal
right back.
with Santine and making a like a rum partnership.
Oh shit, he paid us some of that stuff beforehand, some of the gold, and then we should come back to him so he can pay us the rest, right? If I
Yes,
remember correctly.
yes.
I
and
need to
he
get some
still-
gold.
Yeah, he would still owe you half of what he paid you, like the rest of the half.
I'm so
I think
glad
he
it's
gave us
doing well.
500. Oh, wait, what did he pay us? 200 or 500 last time?
I believe it was 250 out of 500 in total.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, close enough.
Let me double check though.
It was something like that, definitely.
Yeah, it was a fairly good amount from what I remember. Oh no,
Uh,
400 gold is
Ooh.
half. It was a 800
I'm back.
gold in total
Oh.
job.
well, would you look at that?
What did I miss?
Oh, we have to
Don't
go
make
pick up the
anything else.
money. We have to, we have to go pick up the money for delivery of the rum.
Oh, that's true. We never did that.
Also,
did we?
you're dead.
Owlbears come out of nowhere. Take off
Yeah.
the arms.
Drown you.
You
Yeah,
guys
it's like
were
Gwen
essentially
showed
the
up.
ones who brokered this deal between
Yeah.
Moss doesn't know anything about all that, so he's just
Mr.
drinking from the
Ford.
bottle.
Wintervale, and it is a very fine rum. It's
It is. Best
delicious.
rum I've ever had.
Doesn't Talia see it too? It's like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talia's like, hey, she's like
yeah,
really happy
Talia
to
sees
see it.
Oh shit.
Sorry, we're doing stuff.
In the left corner.
And Tony is like kind of stumbling around a little bit.
The mountain of madness. Weighing in at an amount that's too high for me to count to. Moss. Not in the right corner, reigning champion, heavyweight drinker, Talia. You know the rules. Keep it clean. Bottles in hand. Don't start till I say.
Okay.
Challenger, are you ready?
Ready?
That's you, Moss.
Moss is the champ. Fuck you talk about.
Gladiator, are you ready?
Moss takes the bottle and bites the cork and rips it off.
3,
That happens like a foot above the head.
2, 1, drink!
And you chug your bottles. So the two of you go to make con saves.
Advantage.
Let's see.
12.
Wow. Let's see what I get. 14!
Both hold on.
So Moss, not being used to drinking alcohol in this capacity, isn't keeping up with Talia that well. It's almost neck and neck, but Talia definitely outpaces him.
This Talia slams the glass down. Pick out your hand. I'm like, the winner! Reigning champion!
Moss goes, oh, I thought we were going for volume. And looks at the bottle and sets it down.
I mean, put down a gold piece on the bar. We could.
And the tavern keeper sets down 2 additional bottles of rum.
You're gonna make a lot of money tonight, man.
I'm just looking over to Euromir to see what he's thinking of this.
Yeah, Euromir is watching on in awe, and you see that, like, because of Tony's kind of little fanfare about what's going on, you see that some of the other patrons have started, like, kind of making wagers and bets to see who it
We
is.
get at least
that's gonna come out
10% of all of
victorious.
these bets.
You have to be the bookie then.
Right?
You can't be both the bookie and competing.
I mean, Durgat is not competing.
Pretty sure that's a conflict of interests.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
can totally
guys,
swindle money.
Okay, who will win? Any bets?
And they don't really pay much attention to you as they're.
Fuck off! I'm loud as fuck. I'm literally a
Hey
half
guys, who wants to make some bets? Yeah, that's who you are in the bar right now.
They're currently busy making like their own bets and wagers between
Okay,
each other. and
Notice
don't
that. Okay,
really
I'm just writing.
mind.
I'm taking out like a note and write down kill everyone in the bar. No, just kidding. I'm just
Murder the bar.
And I just scrap it through. I'm definitely going to regret this later, but
Hardrada
Sorry.
is
Oh.
going
Did you
to
finish drinking?
Yeah. Sorry.
is going to walk around the bar just for a little while.
Wow.
Find a homeless person.
Find a homeless person.
No.
Don't fucking start this.
But yeah, he's just gonna walk around the bar.
Goes outside to have a jog around.
No, inside has a jog around.
Just jogging in place in the corner of the bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just get in some cardio, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Exercise works off a hangover, didn't you know?
Living that healthy life.
Nah, but he's just gonna walk around for a little while, seeing who he can see, and he's going to see if there's anybody interesting.
Or interested in what he currently is.
So yeah, roll perception.
Perception.
Hey there, boys.
Perception.
You want some of this?
Dear God.
Pow!
Yeah, so looking around, most of the people in here are nobles, it seems like.
None of them are homeless people.
No.
What a disappointment, Andrada.
They're very, like, swept up in their own dealings and their own business, what they're doing at the moment. Nobody really stands out, though.
Alright, okay. So yeah, Hardrada's just gonna walk around and wait until either someone interacts with him or he sees someone special.
Okay.
And
Around
then,
Around that time, though, you do hear and see the door open to the tavern.
Oh.
And coming in from the outside, like kind of bundled up in a cloak and stuff, is Mr. Dukor, the person involved in the rum deal with Shalisa. And you see him like walk up to the tavern or to the tavern keeper and order a couple of drinks, and goes off to some of the other merchants that are already there, and kind of is meeting up with the crew, so to speak.
I go and relay this to my other party members.
Are you sure about
I'm
that?
sloshed.
I'm going up to the guy. Hadrada, you wanna come with me?
I think it would be a bit weird.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Considering.
He doesn't like
forget.
immediately notice any of you. He's just kind of coming in on his normal.
How does he not immediately notice? My left.
I guess I will.
Like stood on the bar at this point.
I guess I will come with, but like don't tell him who I actually am.
Yeah, sure, I want.
This is
I
a
go.
guy that I know. Don't worry about it.
The girl that I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I go up to
no.
Mr. Durgar and say, hello, it's been a while. We made a deal.
And
Or
he
like the deal's
says,
been made.
"Oh yes, for the rum shipments. I had gotten your letter. I believe you guys sent a letter to him, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
On one of the ships that was returning to Wintervale.
It's been a while, probably. We're not that stupid, I'm assuming.
Okay.
You sure
And
about that?
yeah, and tells you, "Oh yes, I got your letter. It's very, very fortunate that Shalisa decided to accept the deal that I offered. We've both had great success since it happened. I've been shipping out almost more rum than I can make at the moment. I'm looking to upgrade and upsize my brewery."
Oh, that's great. So about that payment,
And he says, yes, of course. I believe it was 400 that I owed you, still, correct?"
500. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I think so, yeah.
You guys need to work on your face game, y'all.
We're honest people.
I don't know.
And he says, "Okay, if you want to come by my brewery tomorrow, I can get the rest of the payment for you. I don't carry that much on me."
Obviously. Where is your brewery?
Fucking bird. Obviously.
Hold on, do I know where it is? Because I kinda live in Wintervale. Or live most of my life.
It's kind of a newer place, like since
Okay.
you've lived there permanently. So I don't think you would really know exactly where it was.
Okay.
But he tells you that it's between like the bar you're currently at, like heading towards the docks, which is to the north. He said it's right along that way,
Okay.
so it's within close proximity.
Mm.
Cue the furious typing.
I'm taking notes, okay? I'm serious about my money.
And you see him like kind of like put his finger up for a second and says, yes, by the way, 1 second," and walks over to the tavern keeper and comes back with a tray with about 12 shots of rum on it,
Oh god.
and says, "This is for you and your friends over there. I owe you much, so
I'm
enjoy
just
them."
surrounded by people hammering down bottles. Go bring them 12 shots of rum.
There's Talia and I just pounding bottles in the background.
Oh, fuck!
These
I
are
got
for
it
you and your
now.
friends over there. It's just, we're fucked.
I would say roll another con save too.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Two of you,
Both of you.
Come on.
the both of you.
The bar's just clapping and
21.
chanting down,
Ah,
down.
damn it.
18. Okay.
That was good all around.
Yeah. There really wasn't any negative to that. So
And I finished first.
despite both of you finishing your bottles with almost no issue, Moss pulls out ahead on this one, and
I go to pick up Moss's hand and I can't quite find it because it's not where it should be.
Oh, the hand ends in the same spot.
Yeah, no. I lift his arm in the air. I'm like, the new champion of the drink.
and you see like some people in the tavern like and like others like yeah, and people like exchanging bags of coins and settling debts that were made.
I'll laugh that
I
off and
look
go sit
back
with
to
your
Mr. Duker and I say, well, I think I'll save these ones for another day. I won't be giving that to them right now.
And he kind of looks and sees.
Can I see the tray of shots with a
commotion.
passive perception of 18?
Yeah, I would say so.
No,
Yeah.
damn it,
Moss
no.
finishes his bottle, turns around, sees the tray, is like, and Durgat is preparing round 3. Tiebreaker time.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. I look to Moss like, the fuck they're not? You're not drinking that.
Moss just smiles and looks at you.
Okay, I go back to the bar and say, hey, can you give me a cup or something for the that I can close for those?
Can I get a mason jar to take this home in?
Yes.
It's not how bars work.
I don't give a
It's
fuck,
not how
man.
bars work at all.
I know, but that guy ordered me shots without, even though he didn't know what the fuck he
Yeah,
was
so
doing,
you accept them and give them to your friends.
I know you're.
You
gonna-
let us get hammered.
I will not do that. You guys are already hammered.
More alcohol.
And he says, well, if you don't want to give them to your friends now, I can always buy you some drinks at another time. And takes the tray and starts walking over to the table of people that he was currently sitting with when you walked over to him, and sets it down on the table in front of them.
Imagine there's like Yermia, Durgat, and Hadrada sat at the table just having a nice time, and there's us three sloshed like arm in arm at the bar. Like, let me tell you.
And there once was a story of a fat dwarf. They went down the street
I
and
love
they
this
shit
one.
on a horse.
Oh.
I will slowly back away out of the bar, make sure no one actually sees me. Do I need to roll a stealth check, or are they all hammered enough?
Stealth check. I'm
yeah,
always
no,
looking out.
Stealth check.
Fuck off, Moss. Fuck
Oh,
off.
you fit by 1.
Holy
By
shit.
1. I rolled a 19 and a
God
20.
damn, those are some serious rolls.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
That wasn't even like a natural 20. That was like a 14.
Rogues are balanced and fair, don't you know?
But yeah, so the merrymaking continues well into the night. It was previously like midday, mid-afternoon when you started drinking with Urimir, and it is quickly
Oh
progressed.
god, I was drinking with Yermia. Oh, I've made a state of myself.
You forget that
You
Yermir was
got-
with
yeah,
us.
we go back to the table and you're just fucked.
Oh,
It's been an
yeah,
hour
man.
since you sat down.
Oh, I come sit over there like, Yermia, you gotta try this.
And we'll say by the end of the night, Urimir is still looking like pretty good. He's a bit
Except for
like
that last one.
buzzed
Ooh.
and wobbly a bit towards the end of the night, but overall, like
Yermia can handle a drink. As well as more.
Moss leans into it a little bit, but then he comes and rejoins the table and sits down and just goes, I am having a very good time. That's probably
I
right.
love it. You're like my best drinking, but I'm so proud.
Right about there, because the disguise self only lasts about an hour. So probably by the end of that drinking competition, my thing fades.
okay.
Oh.
And
Sorry.
nobody really seems like perplexed by your form. Everyone is like
Too
drinking,
hammered.
and having a good time.
We got them drunk enough that they don't care right
Yeah.
now. It's fine.
Also, speaking
Oh,
of
yeah,
which,
also-
whoops, I just got all the way to 0 decibels with that. Okay, so speaking of which, I will recast Disguise Self on myself since I have Mask of Many Faces and can cast it pretty much infinitely.
I'd like to introduce myself to myself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you cast that, and your illusionary appearance comes
The
back
titty
up.
continues.
Talia rolled pretty well on
So
her con saves. Is she all like? Am I still relatively sober, or am I also really fucking hammered?
You're like,
You're fucking badgered, admit it.
yeah, I wouldn't say that you're like drunk, but you are like buzzed. You're like feeling pretty
No.
good.
You're
Yeah.
not badgered, you're fine.
You're
Moss
at the point
specifically
where
can't be poisoned. That's why he's like.
Well, I
Just
didn't
a
even drink
tank.
that much. I just realized I wasn't the one drinking.
You snorted alcohol. Is what happened.
I got second-hand alcoholism.
Well, of course, as the person running that, of course, you're getting hammered along with everyone.
Yeah, I can't
It's
watch.
assumed.
and towards the end of the night, Yaramir kind of finishes off his drink and goes to stand up and kind of looks around and says, "Well, I think I'll probably be off. It's getting late. I have to
Oh, you're leaving?
get back to it tomorrow."
You're like my favorite person, though.
Oh,
And he says, "And you're also mine."
Talia's like kind of
Okay.
pushing Tony and
Well,
like walk him
Moss
home, walk
and
him home.
Talia are both like sitting there with our hands crossed and our chins resting on top of our hands, watching them.
Yeah.
Wait, do you like whisper that to me?
Yeah, she kind of pushes him with her elbows, like walk him
Tony
home,
out
walk him
loud
home.
looks at you and says, I can't walk him home. I can't even walk.
Yes, you can. You
Moss
can,
reaches
yeah.
Moss reaches forward and just kind of pokes him in the forehead and casts a lesser restoration, which cures of a
Ooh.
poison. Makes him slightly less drunk.
Mm. Hello, oh, you're leaving? Oh,
Walk him home, walk him home.
perhaps
And he
Let
says,
me-
"Yes, it's getting late."
show you're back to your abode at this late evening.
And he says, "Sure, I would love some protection from a big, strong guy like you."
Big
Um,
frog man.
Follow me. Take a big strong man.
Such a strong,
put my arm
handsome
in.
man
I'm
walking
gonna walk
me
him.
home.
And he kind of stumbles a little bit, the alcohol
Okay.
catching up to him a little bit, and exits out from the tavern with Tony in tow. And
That
you
is
begin
like-
walking him home.
Fair to
I
black.
was like so excited about this. He's just like, it's like, like, she's very happy.
And you begin escorting
Yeah, it's my
Yaramir
Talia.
back to his house, or his shop, which is also his house, but his abode.
The abode.
And you guys get to the front of it, and he turns to you and says, "I do hope you know that
Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze, please. I can't do roleplay at this moment. It's like right on the end of my nose.
You can't put it off. Just accept it's gonna happen.
No, it's gone. Whenever you mention you're gonna sneeze, it just leaves. Right. I'm sorry, you're continue.
And he says, I do hope that you believe me when I say that I do like you and your friends. I'm not simply trying to make a quick dollar off of all of you. I
believe you. Don't worry.
says I do care enough to where I'm not going to send you out into danger without making sure that you're all properly outfitted."
You've done me so well in the past. How could I ever doubt your prowess?
And he says, "Well, and you as well. The pearls. I mean, I
Oh,
might have taken a bit longer to get here than I had expected, but it's totally worth it. It's
it was nothing.
you did a very good job for me. There's no way I could have gone to Vudar myself at any point coming soon and gotten them myself."
Well, it's the least I could have done.
And he says, "Well, I have a feeling that we'll be seeing a lot of each other, and it'll be prosperous for both sides. You'll get what you need, and I'll get what I want, and everyone will be happy.
Everyone sounds pretty good to me.
And he says, but for now, I'm gonna retire for the night.
Okay. In that case, I'll see you tomorrow for that helmet, eh?
And he says, yes, of course.
And clank on my helmet that I've definitely been wearing all night.
And he says, yeah, come on by anytime, and I should be able to start working on it as soon as possible. Once I have something in mind for it, I want it to be something special, not just another trinket.
Well, I'm sure you'll do fantastically, as you always do.
And he says, good night.
Good night.
Make sure that you get back there safe. I know your
Oh.
friends are causing quite a ruckus over there, so...
Oh, yeah, I should probably go stop a Drada before he, like, burns it down or something.
And he gives you the wave and kind of
I'll wave him off too.
and goes in through the gate and into
Weak. Weak.
At least kiss him on the cheek!
Weak. Ew.
Can I leave as well?
Also, I completely, like, 100% sent my cloak back with him for him to upgrade since he took my fucking gold.
Okay.
I just didn't want to jump in the middle of that.
Okay, yeah. So he does have your cloak as well.
And Tony singing in the rains all the way back to the tavern.
And yeah, you make
Probably Talia and Moss are like still like with their hand with their head on their hands.
Just watching the door, waiting for
Just
him
watching
to
the
come back.
door like
So,
How'd it go?
Talia's like, oh, did you kiss?
Fucking dish.
I come back in, and I didn't actually have my helmet on. I said I did. Took that off. Come back in,
Just
like,
took it off.
sweep my hair back, make sure I still look good. Come back in
Sounds
the bar, I'm like, what?
And
Come on.
Moss also.
What's this fucking voice?
Figuring out how to do inflections.
He's gone home.
Did you know, she makes this like no kiss motion, like, you know?
Talia,
the
how many
circle,
times do I have to tell you?
the pointer finger.
You're my
And his
boyfriend.
On his hand, on his cheek.
Well,
So
he
sweet.
certainly won't be at this rate. I literally don't function at the same level, but he bites his lip when he says your name. Are you dumb?
Talia says, no he doesn't. Like, turns
He
out from
literally-
says, does he?
He literally does. I
Scoots
went
my
with
chair
him.
up closer. What?
They mentioned this as your boyfriend before, but this, and he just looks at you. Come on. This is Drunk Moss. Welcome to Drunk Moss.
I love this in Moss's metallic voice, like just like come
Come on.
Talia,
Come
come on. He's like this.
Come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't know.
He doesn't say that. Moss does not curse. Just so we are very clear. Moss is a sweet boy.
Yeah,
I
she's
thought
like,
he
are
picked
you?
up from Durgat. I was worried for a moment.
Not
I'm
yet.
not used to this.
That was Oliver
Talia's
slipping
just
through.
like, are you this oblivious?
I don't.
Really?
How do I don't know. What?
He's just like taking his like.
He's
yeah,
like
just
nervously like slumped back in his chair with like his head in his collar like.
Talia's just like Moss, come here. We need to show him. Okay. Moss, you stand here, and she gestures like to a bit in front of her. Just like stand here, real quick.
Stand, yeah, follows.
I'm like
Okay,
sat in the
like-
back of a chair like a school kid on prom night.
And she's like,
You're
okay,
nervous.
she's gesturing and all. And she's like, you guys are saying goodbye, and like, he's like, oh, good night. And you take his hand. She takes Moss's hand. It's like, then you go down and kiss it, and she kisses Moss's hand. And it's like, good night. And then you just you wave and like wait until he's inside, and then you go.
Moss puts like his other hand to his faceplate. He's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
it's
I
that
just-
easy.
I didn't
Or,
know.
or like, and then she's like, Moss, could you come down a bit?
Squats down a little bit.
She's like, again, you're saying goodbye, and you say good night, and then you lean in, it's like, you kisses him on the faceplate, the cheek,
faceplate?
whatever.
You do the side of the faceplate or the front of the faceplate? Are you going for a pseudo cheek or a pseudo lip?
Pseudo cheek.
Alright, yeah, side of the faceplate.
It's
Very cold, slightly grassy.
You got like a mouthful of moss.
Then again, you say yes and good night, and then you wait until he's inside, and then you go. It's that easy. Are you this oblivious?
It's that
As with
easy.
everything Tony learns, he
It's
flips
that
open his
easy.
notebook. He's like, right.
Draws it out like it's MMA moves, like
No, yeah,
grabbing the
he
hand,
like
pulling it
sketches
down.
it out. He finds a page that doesn't have Tomlin's face with like smells written on it.
I do
And he's
believe
like, sketches
it's
it in.
time for us to retire. Let's
Yes,
Yeah,
I think that'd be good idea.
By
Is
this
another
point,
one? Did you realize Durgat is gone?
Like Talia
would
probably
have been
like,
noticed long ago, but we just kept drinking.
Okay.
Tony does not notice.
Oh, the
too
27, I'm sure I noticed your absence
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and the night begins to get late. It's probably 11 o'clock, midnight.
like, so we're probably like going back to we're going back to the other tavern on
Now
the
we
way. Talia's
stumble
just
our
like
way back to the other tavern.
Talia's just like rambling to Tony, like giving him tips and like how to flirt, how to do shit, with her bard knowledge. It's just like she's like rambling, moving her hands really quickly, like while she's explaining. It's just like and she keeps repeating like, "How are you so oblivious? You can't be this oblivious, Tony." Jesus,
Grew up in a little town. We didn't really do all this.
a little town.
That
You
town
grew up
wasn't
in the-
very little.
Okay, it was big, but like, yeah, I was like on the edge of town.
It's
right?
true. He is a church boy.
But
I love Trump.
Father Sylvan wouldn't be so approving of this kind of shenanigans, okay?
Now, all you have to do is Sizabe, Fulu, Kaliti, and he just starts slipping into like 4 different languages.
Durgat, where did you go off to? You said that you.
Yeah, I just went back to the other tavern on my own.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And I just hope no one's talking to me on my way back there. I mean, I don't know, I get. I'm just assuming no one will.
On the
Considering
way
I'm a
back.
half-orc.
Yeah, we'll say the others are en route to join you back at the other tavern.
On the way back, I ask, why do we have such shitty rooms at a shitty tavern?
That's what
Because
I was
we're
saying
broke.
before. But, well, we weren't before we came here. Now I am, but
Well, the other reason is that if we, and she gestures to all of us, looking not so nice, sleep in a tavern like that, and she points into the direction of the very nice tavern that we were just in, that would we would get noticed.
we did just drink there.
I mean,
Like, surely the
Yeah,
bad
about
tavern's the
the
place where
same.
all the criminals are. That sounds like a dumb idea. Did Hadrada suggest
is-
this?
No.
he did
This
see the
makes
tavern.
much more sense, Tony. Usually you are more on my side about these things.
Yeah. Who said we should sleep at the shitty tavern?
You,
Oh.
other you.
Oh.
And then you see Moss's fucking arms around everyone. Moss's grip on both of you tightens up severely.
Oh,
This is where all the criminals are.
You should have let me kill that man.
No!
I couldn't have let you
I'm
kill
not
that.
there, but no.
He deserved it.
No.
I mean, what he did
Lost.
was shitty, but like I kind of do understand his reasoning.
Blank
so to speak.
time is not welcome. And he turns to Tony. I know. It is not okay. He said he did not hurt you both. But I know missing time hurts. He deserves something. And he shakes his head. Something.
I think he's got this something for the last like 40 years or something. 40, 30? I don't know. I don't. She
There was
doesn't
a reason he ended up in there. Clearly.
He said it was close to 30 years.
Yeah. Like, there's not
Nothing.
always a reason behind. Like, she's like, there's not always a reason. Like, I don't assume that they've been shitty people, him and his partner,
Ill
because.
actions for good reason are still ill actions.
That's true. Like, I mean,
And he
they
didn't apologize.
That's true. He didn't apologize either.
Well, this is depressing. How about we talk about something else?
Yeah.
Fuck
Let's
that
just
guy.
get back to the tavern and get some rest, and maybe tomorrow we'll
Moss
visit a
actually
nice
said that.
tavern.
Hardrada says, that like along the lines of he's disappointed that
How
no one
much am I
noticed him.
drinking for that line? we haven't got a rule for along the lines of.
Why don't you like say what Hadrada says?
Okay. I'm sort of disappointed. I'm sort of disappointed that I wasn't able to grab anyone's attention.
What?
You were
Right.
quite right. Right. I don't know.
Grab
I
anyone's
don't know.
Wait, you were trying to, like,
I don't know what to tell you,
Hadrada.
Drada. I really don't. I really don't know what to say to you.
we come to Wintervale once in a blue moon, and every time you try and get it off with some strangers.
Hey, I don't get it off with strangers. I'm just trying to disappoint someone here.
That would have been funny. But
So
you weren't.
yeah, I would say
She's like, and now she switches her flirting tips to Adrada's. Like, you weren't offensive enough. You were just walking around. You need to be like up in people's face. Like, goes on her little rambling about how seduction works.
Camera pans out on them giving a lecture to everyone about how to seduce people.
Exactly.
Zapped coming from the bard.
and I would say like during the course of this conversation, you guys do make it back to the tavern, and still like in the throes of conversation and seduction tips, begin making your way up to the room or up to your rooms, and we'll go ahead and go there for this session.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.